So to start this crop top off, we're going to grab our category 3 yarn, make a slip knot, grab our 4mm hook, and we're going to make a chain that fits around our torso very loosely. So I'm going to go ahead and make a chain of 28 inches. And once we have our chain, we are going to connect it to the first chain that we made, but we're just going to take our thumb and run it along the bottom side just to make sure that it's all facing one direction, and we're going to insert our hook. And then now we're just going to do a row of single crochet, but first we have to slip stitch it together. And we're going to chain up 1 to start off our row of single crochet. But a really quick tip is that if you're doing this row, I like to go into the back ridging of our original chain. So as you can see, all of these loops are facing one direction. We're just going to flip our work over, and we're going to go into the back loops that we have in through these loops. And you can use this for this piece or any other piece, but I'm just going to go ahead and put 1 single crochet into every loop all the way around. Once we get around, connect with a slip stitch. Once we made it all the way around and connected it with a slip stitch, we are now going to start doing our row of shells, and this is going to be the bottom of the top, and our shells are going to be smaller than our original shells that we typically do. So we chained up 2, this counts as a half double crochet. And we're going to half double crochet into the same loop that we're in. We're going to chain up 3, and then this part is going to be different as well. We're going to insert our hook into that first chain that we did with a slip stitch, and then from here put 2 more half double crochets into the same loop that we're in, and this is our mini shell. And from here we're going to prepare for another half double crochet, skip 1, 2, 3 loops, go into the 4th loop with a half double crochet, and then this is going to be the same as before. So 2 half double crochet, chain up 3, slip stitch into the first chain, 2 more half double crochet all in the same loop, and then do this all over again. And once we make it to the end, we're going to connect it with a slip stitch into this first chain 2 that we did, and then we're going to cut and tie because that is the bottom, and then we're going to be working on the top portion. So we have our bottom border shell design all done, and now we're going to start working on the top portion. But next we're going to start introducing our elastic. But I will say that if you guys don't want to use elastic, you guys can go ahead and make this the same way, just without it, and then you can use a drawstring in afterwards or leave it loose, whatever you guys want to do. But I went ahead and already cut the elastic that I needed. Remember I said that this bottom portion was 28 inches. I measured the elastic that I wanted around myself, and then I left an inch in total on the side, so half an inch on one side, half an inch on the other, and then I went ahead and cut. So I had a total of 20 inches, and now all we're going to do from here is just tie them together nice and tight, and then now we can start working on the next portion. So from here we're just going to be doing a row of single crochet. We're going to insert our hook anywhere, it doesn't matter where. I guess I'll do it in the back. I'm going to make a slip knot. We're going to insert our hook, place the elastic on top, and then the yarn on top of the elastic, and then we're going to pull just the yarn through and chain up 1 to secure, and now our elastic is set in place. And then from here I'm going to be putting 1 single crochet into the next 4 loops and then increasing into the 5th. So we already have our 4 single crochet, and this is our 5th loop right here. So all we're going to do is put 2 single crochet into that 1 loop, and we're doing this so that the top layer can be a little bit more loose, and we're going to keep doing this pattern all the way around and connect with a slip stitch once when we're done. So we are all done working in our elastic, and don't worry if it looks a little wrinkly, it won't look like this when you put it on. But at this point I'm actually going to be switching out to my 5mm hook. You guys don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm just doing this to continue on with the flowiness of the top. But from here we're going to do another row of single crochet, so we're just going to put 1 single crochet into every front loop that we have. So as you can see, we typically go into these loops. I'm just going to go into this front loop with a single crochet, and then we're going to single crochet once into every front loop all the way around until we meet this end, and then from here we're going to go in through the back loops so that the top can overlap, but I'll show you how to do that once when we get there. So we've made it all the way around doing our front loop single crochets, and now we're going to fold this over and start going into the back loops with more single crochets. So just as an example, these are our back loops that we can very clearly see. And we're just going to be single crocheting into these guys right here. And then in order to know where to stop, what I like to do is just lay my work down flat as possible. And then where this ends, I'm just going to keep going until I reach the same point, but on the other side. So basically from one side to the next. So I have my front and back loop single crochet layered sandwich cakes, I don't know, on top of each other. And just to let you guys know, just as a reference, when I stretch mine out from one end to the next, I have 11 inches. And then from here, we're going to start working on the triangle. So we're going to chain up 2 because we're going to be working with half double crochets, flip our work, and then we're going to be putting 2 half double crochets into the same loop that we're in. So kind of like an increase. So here's 1, here's 2. And then we're going to be looking at the base that we have. We're going to skip 1 loop and go into the loop after that with a slip stitch. And from here, to work our way up to the next loop, we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 loops into the base, flip our work, and then we're going to put 1 increase at the end. So into the first loop, we're going to be going into the back loops. So insert your hook into the back loop with a half double crochet, if it lets me. And then into this last loop, we're going to be doing an increase. So 2 half double crochet into that last loop. And then we're actually going to keep doing this until we have the size of the triangle that we want. So we're just going to be putting an increase on the ends while going into the back loops, connecting into the base with a slip stitch. It's weird. With a slip stitch, and then we're going to keep going until we have the size that we want for the height of the triangle. And I'm going to keep going until my height is 7 inches. And a really quick tip is that I just want to make sure that your last row before we start doing the back ends at the base. And the reason why we do that is because if we cut and tie from the top, then it might mess with the current ridging pattern that we have. But something that we can do is that if you absolutely need to end up here, is that you can do a row of single crochet in the back loops going all the way down just to make sure that we end at the base. But since we know that now, we can start doing the back portion. So from here, we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 just like how we've been doing. And then this back is obviously not going to be as high as this triangle portion is. So I'm going to I'm going to do back loop half double crochets up until what I have is 4 inches. That's how high I want my back to be. But before I reach the 4 inches, I'm going to leave the last 2 loops because we're going to be doing a decrease. So we've done our half double crochets up until where we want the back to end, and you're going to do a decrease at the end, and we're only doing this so that this line isn't as sharp. We just want it to flow a little bit more. So that is our decrease. We're going to chain up 2, flip our work, and if you guys didn't catch my decrease, I'm going to show you guys how to do it now. But how I do a decrease is prepare for a half double crochet, insert our hook into the first loop, yarn over, pull through, into the second loop, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on the hook. And then go ahead and half double crochet in the back loops going back down, and I'm just going to do this for 1 more row before we start doing the solid back portion. So we are now ready to start doing the back portion now that we have our little decrease. But before we do that, we're going to want to put a marker on the other side, marking off the same amount of loops that we have in the back for this triangle and counting this decrease side just to make sure that we don't go past it. But from here, when we have that, we're going to chain up 2, flippity flip our work, and then just do regular schmegular half double crochets in the back loops all the way until we make it to this point over here. So we have made our way all the way around to where we put our marker in, and we're going to now start doing increases so that we can mimic this side where we did decreases from the side of this triangle. So just as a quick tip, if you did end down here with your row of half double crochets, just like how I said on the other side, you're going to want to make your way over to this end. So go ahead and just slip stitch into the next base loop and then do back loop single crochets all the way up until we get to here. But when we're here, we're going to chain up 2 just like how we've been doing. That counts as a half double crochet, flip our work, and then we're going to be doing an increase of 2 into the first loop, 2, and then do half double crochets into the back loops just like regular. And then I'm going to do this for a total of 3 rows, but you guys do this for as many rows as you have, just to make sure that it matches the same amount of rows that you have decreases on the other side. So I'm done doing my 3 rows of increases, and just so you guys know, I'm sure some of you can tell, but I did have to do a row of back loop single crochets just to make it up to this point so that we can start doing this portion of the triangle right here. But once we make it up to this point, we're going to want to count out and see how many loops we have on this little tip of the triangle that we have, and then make a chain for the same amount of loops. Once we have the same amount of loops, we're going to block off that last loop, chain up 2, this counts as a half double crochet, prepare for a half double crochet, and then put 1 half double crochet, good lord, why are motorcycles so loud? Put 1 half double crochet into every loop that we have going back down, and then once we meet this portion where our work is, then we're going to continue working into the back loops. Once we have double crocheted back down our chain, like I said, we're going to be working into the back loops going into this portion. So that's going to be normal. I just wanted to show you guys. But once we are here, we're going to slip stitch into the bottom just like normal, and as you can see, this is starting to overlap. And then we're just going to work our way up for the next row, leaving the last 2 loops when we come back up so that I can show you how to decrease. So we currently have 2 rows working on this triangle. We're going to start decreasing, and I left 2 loops like I said, so we're going to do a decrease. We're going to prepare for a half double crochet, insert our hook into the first loop, yarn over, pull through into the second, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops that's on the hook. And one more time, we're going to chain up 2, flip our work. I'm sure you guys already know how to do this, but we'll do it again. Prepare for a double crochet, insert our hook into the first loop, yarn over, pull through, into the second, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then half double crochet all the way down, and we're going to keep decreasing just like this until we really can't anymore, until we reach this end. So this is what we should have once we have decreased all the way down. And then once we get here, we can chain up 1 and cut. And once we have this part done, now we're going to need to work on the back. We're just going to add 1 more row of elastic on top just so that this isn't loose when you put it on. So you're going to want to try this on at this point and then measure out from the side of this triangle all the way to the other side. And for example, I have 19. And then we're going to cut a piece of elastic that is only a few inches shorter than that. And I ended up cutting my elastic to 17 inches, and you don't want to make this too tight because if it is, then it's going to stretch the triangles apart. So we're just going to be tying in one side first. So we're going to take our elastic and insert it onto our tapestry needle, or you can use your hook, whatever you want. But we're just going to go into the loop that has this first chunk in there, not the first available loop, but the one that already has stuff in there. We're just going to pull this through and tie a really secure knot. So I went ahead and double knotted my elastic, and now we're going to be working on a back border, and all that is a row of single crochet. So we're going to insert our same 5mm hook into that same loop that we just put the elastic in, insert our yarn onto our hook, pull through, chain up 1 to secure, and then from here we're going to single crochet into one side half double crochet and then 2 into the next, and we're going to be alternating between 1 and 2 single crochet going all the way down, but keeping the elastic in between. Once when we're at the end, all we need to do is tie in this one. So we're going to insert our hook, or insert our needle in through here and then give it a good tie. And once we tied it in, we're going to insert our hook into the same loop that it's in, and then not single crochet, slip stitch it into there. And once we have that, chain up 1 and cut. Once when our back elastic is all finished, we just have a few more steps left to do. So we're going to turn our work over and we're going to start working into this part of our triangles on both sides, separately of course. And I'm going to be switching back over to my, 4mm hook. And all I'm going to do is insert that into, not into where the first single crochet was when we started doing our 2 single crochet rows, but just to make it seamless and clean, we're just going to insert it into the base, like where our first row of single crochet was. So we are going to be grabbing our yarn, Pulling this through, chaining up 1 to secure. And then once we have this, we're going to be inserting our hook into this first single crochet base just to make it all clean. And then into this first half double crochet side that we have, we're going to be doing a bulb. So we're going to insert our hook with 1 single crochet, chain up 3, and then single crochet into the same loop. So into that same side half double crochet. And then that's going to be the pattern all the way up until we get to here, and then we're going to cut. So one more time, into the next one, we're just going to be doing a single crochet, no bulb. Going to be a little spread out. And then into the next side half double crochet, 1 single crochet, chain up 3, and then single crochet again into that same loop, and then into the next, just 1 single crochet. And then we're going to be alternating like that between bulb and single crochet into every other half double crochet until we make it up to this point. Once we made it all the way up to the top, this next part is optional, but I'm just going to put 1 single crochet into the chain that we have on this side, just so that it really is starting the strap in the corner. But then from here, I went ahead and tried this on, and I measured from up to this point to where the back is and where I want it to fall. And I have about 14.5 inches, so I'm just going to make a regular chain from there. And then I'm going to connect it into the back. And then this is going to be different for everyone, but all I did was try this on, put my measuring tape into this corner, and then just draped it over my back. And then I put a marker in where this was. So from here, I'm just going to make a chain of 14.5 inches and then slip stitch it into here and then cut. So I have made my chain and attached it to the back, and we're going to do the same thing that we did here on the other side. So all we're going to do is actually fold the front part over and then flip it around, and then we're going to do the same thing going up. And now that we have both of our straps done, now it's just time to weave in all of our ends. And this is our crop top all finished. We wanted to make a cute little dainty crop top for summer that can go with any wardrobe or for any occasion, and this is what happened, and I absolutely love it. I can't wait to wear it around the house because I don't leave the house, but still, it's cute though. But thank you guys for watching. If you like this piece or any other piece on the channel, give it a thumbs up. It's right beneath the video. It lets YouTube and I know you're enjoying the videos, and it goes a long way to helping the channel grow and gain traction. But if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down, but leave a comment letting me know why you didn't like it. Or if you have any questions, requests, or if you just want to say hi, you can leave a comment too. I usually reply pretty quick. If you love it, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's right beneath the video. It'll let you know when there's a new video uploaded to the channel, get you a bit more priority for requests, and it goes a long way to helping the channel grow so I can keep making all these great videos for you guys. And if you're already subscribed, big thanks, but please hit that notification bell to be notified when there's a new upload right away. And please don't forget to share with your crafty friends. Every bit helps. Links to the yarn and the hooks will be in the description. If you guys buy something using those links, that also goes towards helping out the channel. Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest links are down there as well. And thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, see y'all next time.